Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And before we get started, y'all, I just wanted to say rest in peace to Prince. I cannot believe it's been 2 years since he left us. Today on the radio, they were playing all his music back from early Prince when I was a young teenager and nobody had ever heard of a Prince. You know, I loved him since he very first came out back in the 70s. So rest in peace, Prince. We miss you. And y'all, to get this video started, my question is, what if you were on a reality TV show? Could you do it? Just ponder that for a moment. So my last video, I talked about reality TV and Real Housewives of Atlanta and whether Tamar Braxton would be a good fit for the show. But after I, hit submit on that video, I got to thinking about what if one of us, just normal everyday people, were cast on an already hit reality TV show like Real Housewives of Atlanta. How would we fare on it? We don't have all the money that they have. So for me, y'all, when they buying red bottoms and all of that shit, I would not be able to hang. But I just got to thinking about it, all jokes aside. And, thinking about my family, my kids, wondering how it would play out. First of all, I know my son would not be having it. He doesn't even like taking pictures, let alone being filmed somewhere. My daughter has the personality for it because she's so bubbly and outgoing and all of that. But then, y'all, I got to thinking about my extended family. And honestly, y'all, I started laughing. I was cracking up. When you talk about extended family, you're first talking about your siblings and your parents, okay? Now, that's outside of my kids and me. The next extension would be my siblings and my parents. I thought about my two brothers. They would make for fun, laughing reality TV. Then I thought about my parents. And then you go one step further. You think about your uncles, your aunts, your grandmother. Y'all, that's where we would get into problems. My cousins and everything. Y'all, I come from a very large family. When I say large, my grandmother had 12 kids. She had a sister that I think had, about 6 or 7. I would have to count them out, and I didn't take the time to count them out. I was joking with my cousins, y'all. I jokingly said that we gotta have about 1,000 cousins. I got cousins that I don't even know as my cousins. I just come from that large of a family. But when I started thinking about some of the characters that are just in my family, we had a little get together a week or so ago, and I just sat back and watched the interactions of my family members and how some of them are characters, and they're just naturally funny. But put them on a reality TV show with a camera thrust in their faces during hard times, ups and downs, and y'all, let me tell you, it would make for some very explosive reality TV and some very funny reality TV. I have family members that, how when on these reality shows, it's a moment when somebody is trying to get you together or talking shit about you. See, security would not be able to stop my family. If they wanted to whoop somebody's ass, it would just be an ass whooping that day. And if security tried to jump in front of them, security would get their asses whooped too. I got family members that are actually natural comedians, y'all. Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle don't have nothing on these family members that I got. I got old comedians, young comedians, baby comedians. My family is just funny. They're funny to me. I mean that kind of laughter that when you get finished laughing, your stomach is actually cramping. Some of the things that they think to say or the things they think to do, you know how you're standing there like this bitch or this motherfucker is a raving lunatic. They are absolutely funny. Also, those reunion shows wouldn't work with my family because Andy's like, just give example, and Andy sitting there asking shady questions, they subject to get up and whoop his ass. See, it would be a misunderstanding. They would have to cut because Andy would be thrown from the fucking chair across the room. They be done fuck Andy up, asking them embarrassing confrontational questions. My family wouldn't be built for it. The fucking season would have to end early because they be done whooped up all the goddamn cast members, tore up restaurants and shit. I just know my family. And the funny thing is my family is not quote unquote ratchet. They're just real. And that's what's these reality shows, that's what they're missing, realness. I think the realest reality show that's on television now is probably Married to Medicine. It still has a lot of realism to it. Now, as the years go on and they're into their 10th and 11th seasons, like Real Housewives of Atlanta, I don't know. They may lose some of that realness. But right now, they're about the realest of the ones that I can think of. But I was just sitting here, y'all, and I got to thinking, you know how you just daydreaming and you think about something, and I was like, what if my damn family was cast on a reality show? It would be a mess. Y'all, we got so many divisions and, cliques in the family. We all love each other. Don't get me wrong. We love each other because if you mess with one of us, oh my God, you've messed with the rest of us. Y'all, I can tell you some stories about my family, and if you mess with one of them. Let me just give y'all a quick one. When my ex had died, his new wife, she had a funeral in the city that we actually live in now, which is not my hometown. And then she had another funeral for him in the city that I'm from. Now, in the city that we currently live in, we were not allowed to come to the funeral. We were not even told where the funeral was, when it was going to be, or any of that. But when she set up the funeral in our hometown, from which he was from too, him and I both came here, together, she had to contact his family. And his family let me know, where the funeral was going to be and when the funeral was going to be. So in the city that we live in, she didn't let me come to the funeral. When I tried to come to hospice when he was dying, I walked in the room. She told me to get the fuck out. I got out because, it was her party. She was his wife. I walked in the room. He had made me promise to come and see him. He begged me, if anything happens to me, girl, I want you to come see me. Why you don't never come see me? So I told him, your wife, she don't like me and I don't want no confusion. So that's why I don't bother to come. It makes it tense when I come, so I don't come. But the funeral in Cleveland, now remember, she didn't let us come to the funeral here in the city we live in. I know I've said this 3 times, but I want y'all to understand the depths of what happened when we went to Cleveland. When I came to the hospice, she kicked me out. She was at the hospice arguing with my kids and everything. So we get to Cleveland. This is my hometown. So I had told my family, all the stuff that went down, how she wouldn't let us come to the funeral. She kicked me out of the hospice. So my family was like, well, Rachel, you don't need to worry when you come to Cleveland because we'll be at that funeral home. I was like, oh, what now? Y'all, okay, so I got a couple uncles that my mother was like, don't even tell them where the funeral home is. Girl, if they'll show up there and turn that goddamn funeral home out. So one uncle in particular, I definitely, he called me and he was like, Rachel, I heard you having problems with his new woman. You want me to come up to that funeral home? Because if anybody fuck with you, they're going to have to fuck with me. I was like, no, that's quite all right. I mean, literally, y'all, he called me right as I was walking out the door to drive to Cleveland for the funeral. And he was telling me, I know where the funeral home is. I can be there when you get there. I was like, thank you, but no. I called my mother and I was like, do you know Uncle such and such was? And my mother was like, girl, I hope you didn't tell that motherfucker it was okay to come. Because he'd turn that goddamn funeral home out. I was like, no, I know. I told him thank you, but no. So we get to Cleveland and, I go to my mother's and everything and, get ready to go to the funeral and all that. So we get to the funeral home and I'm a little, hesitant walking in the funeral home because remember, she done threw me out of one place and barred me from another. So I was like, well, I wonder when I get to Cleveland, will she have people at the door with me and my kids' pictures and, not let us in? So I go to walk in and right when I walk in, I see one of my aunts who I was like, I didn't even tell her, that his funeral was today, but I guess, the family, probably, let her know. Then I walk a few more steps and see one of my uncles. And then I saw another aunt. And then I was like, hold up. God dog it, my family done showed up and showed out. And when I was walking in, when me and my kids were walking in, they were like, don't worry, girl. She can try some shit if if she want to. They said we'll turn this motherfucker out. I was sitting there like, oh my God, I hope she do not even look at me wrong. Because see, I know my family. When they say they will turn it out, they will turn it out. Like I said, they not ratchet. But if you fuck with one of us, it is on. And as I was walking, to find a seat, I felt good inside because I was like, well, at least I have this support. Now, me and my kids, we didn't want to cause any problems and we're trying to be nice. We decided to take a seat towards kind of the back, even though I had been with that man for 17 years and these was his only kids in the world. So we decided to sit in the back. Now, his family was like, no, what y'all doing? Y'all come on up here with us. I wish y'all would sit in the back. So we move up front. Now, I don't know where she's sitting, but it was funny because as the funeral progressed, we weren't mentioned, of course. Now, of course, she mentioned all of her kids and her grandkids and listed them as his kids. But what was funny is after the funeral, a lot of people were coming up to me and was like, did you hear that bullshit? I almost jumped up. Now, all this was going on in the parking lot of the funeral. Now, y'all get this. I had my grandmother now in the car with me. So my grandmother comes over to get in the car. And right when she get in the front seat. Now, y'all, my grandmother is in her 90s. Y'all gonna trip when I tell y'all what she showed me. We get her settled in the car. She opened up her pocketbook because, she don't carry no purse. Grandmothers carry a pocketbook. My grandma opened up her pocketbook. She goes in her pocketbook and she pulls out this what do you call it? Handkerchief. Little lacy handkerchief. And she got something wrapped up in the handkerchief. So she said, hold on, Shell. Hold on. Just give me a minute, baby. Let me show you what I got. Because, see, ain't nobody going to mess with my oldest grandchild. I'll be damned. My grandmother, with her little arthritic hands, start unwrapping what she had in this damn handkerchief. Y'all, why was it a fucking switchblade? I was like, oh, hell no. Now, my daughter just went from crying to cracking up in the back seat. My daughter was laughing so hard, she almost fell out the car. We were rolling. I was like, we called my grandmother Mama. I was like, Mama, what are you doing with that? She said, like I said, ain't nobody gonna fuck with one of mine. I wish I done heard all that shit that bitch did to you and them kids. She was like, don't make no damn sense. Now, right along this time while I'm trying to convince her to put this damn switchblade, which I don't even know where she got it from, y'all. It was a professional switchblade. It was silver, all silver. You hit this little switch and it flicked out like switch. I was like, where in the hell did she get this from? Right along this time, some family members of the new wives, they were walking out the funeral home, because by that time the funeral was over, people were starting to file out, and we had been sitting in a parking lot talking to our different, family members from Cleveland and all of that. So right along this time, her family started walking out. So I had the car running and I was just about to pull off, and my daughter had told my grandmother, she was like, Mama, that's one of the ladies that was at the hospice that was real mean to me and my brother. Why my grandmother grabbed the wheel and was like, Rachel, run that bitch over. I was like, y'all, when I tell you, I was like, calm down. I said, Mama, we cannot be running people over in the parking lot. I said, first of all, she was like, ain't nobody gonna tell. Everybody out in the parking lot is your family members. Run that bitch over and then keep going. Going on to the house. Ain't nobody gonna know. I said, first of all, police are smart. They gonna look at the tire tracks on these bitches and they gonna trace it back to a rental car from Avis, and they gonna know it was me. I can't be running motherfuckers over. Y'all, my daughter was in the back seat. I'm telling you, that child just went from crying her gut out because her daddy had passed, and she was just at his funeral, to laughing hysterically. My daughter was like in the back holding her stomach cracking up, and just to hear her laugh after witnessing her mourning the death of her father, it made me laugh too. And my grandmother, once we got her started and she saw that we thought what she was doing was funny, she played it to the hill. She's an old comedian. So that's what I'm saying. Can y'all imagine Bravo following that? My grandmother with a fucking switchblade, which again, I don't know where she got that goddamn switchblade. Did she send somebody to the store? She on a walker. She not driving. I know she ain't went and bought it. Did she say, look here, Rachel is going to be coming up to Cleveland for her ex's funeral. Now, I'm going to roll a list of what I need you to get from the store. And on that list was a goddamn switchblade, y'all. I was like, oh my God. And to see her little hands, you know how they little hands be all arthritic and swollen and stuff? To see her fumbling with that damn handkerchief, a lace handkerchief. It was a beautiful handkerchief too, y'all. All creamy colored and crisp. And then she unwraps her damn switchblade. I said, oh Lord, this shit is funny. Y'all, just imagine that. Bravo filming that. Or when my grandmother, I'm about to pull off and she grabbed the wheel and want me to run the girls, them women over. I said, Lord, this is hilarious. So that's what I'm saying. When these women are on Bravo, they are doing a lot of acting and trying to hide, everyday real life things, because let's face it, they have money, but they have the same problems that we have, y'all. They have the same crazy family members. They have family members that are not camera ready, that cannot be on screen because they gonna get on screen and show they goddamn asses. They have all of that, but through the years they have learned to keep certain family members off camera. Think about Nene's oldest son. You remember in the beginning, she used to always have him, or not always, because he wasn't always on camera, but we would see him and she would have little funny moments with him and all of that. But as he started to get in trouble, you notice that Nene does not even show him anymore. She doesn't want to talk about him. That's her child. You know what, y'all? I don't care what kind of trouble my child was in. If he was a part of my life, I don't think that I could just, and I'm not saying that Nene ignores him, because she still has a relationship with her child, because her and Greg are loving parents. Nene might get on my nerves from time to time, but one thing I could say, I know she loves her kids. And you know, did everything that she could to try to keep her son on the straight and narrow. It ain't her fault that he grew up and started showing his ass. You know, we can't control what our kids do once they become adults. But the point I'm trying to make is whatever he doing, she don't want it on screen. You know, she knows people have read the trouble that her child has been in. And y'all, it's been other reality show um people who have run into problems with their family members, with their spouses, and all kind of stuff. So I don't think that, and here's what I'm saying. I know that what they're portraying to us on television is one reality. It is not the true reality of their lives, because just like us, there are certain things that they don't want aired. I cannot even picture a camera in my bedroom in the morning when I roll over in the morning filming me when I get up. Y'all, my damn scarf is lopsided. I might have drooled through the night. I got drool on my face. You know, you can't picture that. Ain't nobody waking up in the morning fully made up with a weave on and all this shit. We ain't waking up like that. Ain't nobody walking around with them sexy ass negligees on and high heel pumps. Look, I love sleeping in socks because I hate when my fucking feet get cold. Even in the summer, I might not be totally under the covers, but my feet are under the covers. I don't know why. So I would not, they would be filming me on a reality show and be like, why this bitch got on footies and it's 98 degrees outside? I mean, that's just who we are in real life. We're not built, well, a lot of us are not built for that camera in the face. And y'all, I'm telling you, I was just sitting up here, even as I'm talking, I'm thinking of different family members. I got another family member that she cracks me up from time to time. I remember she was telling a story, and she was trying to prove a point, or to say, trust me on this. You know, if I'm lying, I hope Yankee Doodle jump out my ass playing the Star Spangled Banner. I'm standing there like, what? Like, wait a minute, Yankee Doodle pop out your ass playing the Star Spangled Banner? I was sitting there. First of all, Yankee Doodle didn't play the Star Spangled Banner, Auntie. That's not what he played. You know, he was saying, Yankee Doodle went to town. You know, I was cracking up. But she was in the midst of her story. So if I would have tried to insert myself, she might have backhanded me. So me and my brother, we just stood there, you know, like, did she just really say Yankee Doodle jump out her ass playing the Star Spangled Banner? Me and my brother was rolling. We was standing there. We was laughing so hard. We almost choked. Another time, a couple of my aunts, you know how your older aunts are. You over there and everybody drinking, and you know they get to telling stories. And we knew we had these two aunts that really, it was an aunt and one of our cousins. They really didn't like each other. And when they were together, they always like at each other like, wow, wow. It was like a little cat fight. So as they started to drink, I was like, okay, they gonna need to stop drinking, because see, now they done forgot to play nice with each other. They know they can't stand each other, and they that part gonna start coming out the more that they drink. So they proceeded to do that little cat fight dance with each other. You know, this one saying a little something about her kids, this one saying a little something about her man, and blah, blah, blah. So eventually they were drunk, officially. And all bets were off. They weren't trying to play nice with each other. So one of them said something about the other one. And the other one was winding up with a comeback. So my brother hurried up and rushed over there. He was like, look, please do not call her a bitch, because you know if you call her a bitch, it's going to be on. Y'all going to be fighting. So she was sitting there. She was like she was considering it. And then eventually she was like, fuck that, bitch. And then proceeded to cuss her out. Well, y'all, I don't need to tell y'all. They was about to fight. Now I was gonna say they got into a fight, but our family members, when they realized that they was about to come to blows and push chairs out and was clearing tables and shit, our family members was like, no, no. They was on opposite sides of the table. We was like, no, no, y'all not about to tear up mama's house. Now y'all gonna have to calm down. And they was older, so we was like, one of them, they be done got in a fight, and one of them be done had a fucking heart attack while they was fighting. So we was laughing, but we made sure that one didn't hit the other, but they was calling each other a whole bunch of bitches and hoes, y'all. It was funny as they older. That's what's funny, y'all, because as the younger generation, we sitting there looking at them like, I cannot believe these are our aunties, our older cousins and our mothers. They're our mother's age, and we just didn't believe that they argued like we did over stupid shit, y'all. I cannot even picture getting back to reality TV. If we were on Real Housewives of Atlanta and Bravo decided to come to Thanksgiving dinner over my family's house, bring their cameras when folk drinking. Picture that in y'all family now, y'all. Think of the funny situations that have happened in your family, around the holidays, or at the 4th of July, or at a graduation, or at a funeral, or at a wedding. These are the events that Bravo films, at family dinners, we regular black folk. Y'all know that shit wouldn't work well on television. See, I don't know about y'all, but my family is fucking hilarious. I'm telling y'all, last week I just sat back. I hadn't been around my family in so long that I was sitting back just first looking at everybody and how much I love them. Just thinking about the warm welcome when I went back to Cleveland, how many cousins were running up to me, picking me up, hugging me, kissing me, telling me how much they love me and miss me. So then after that, I settled back and I just sat and watched them and how funny they are. I have forgotten. And that's what made me think about that. So this is what I want y'all to do, because I've been running my mouth way too long. I want y'all to think about if you and your family were on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tell me, give me a situation. Tell me which one of your family members that you could not allow to be filmed. And just leave it down in the comment section, because even as I'm saying it now, I'm thinking of some more family members, y'all. I'm going to say again, my family ain't ratchet, but they is hella funny. And with that, y'all, thanks for watching my video. As always, I will catch you in the next one. You guys stay safe now.